Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to work on using the law of sines to find the intersection between the circle and an angle. So the problem says, point A, which is located at x comma y, is the intersection point of the unit circle and the terminal arm of 145 degrees in the standard position. What we need to find out is what the coordinates of point A are to the nearest hundredth. So before we begin, let's kind of draw a picture of what we're dealing with. So this is going to be my y-axis, and this will be my x-axis. Now, if I draw the unit circle, let's say it looks something like this. Good enough. And now, what does it mean when it's a 145-degree angle in the standard position? Well, standard position just means that the vertex of the angle is at the origin. So I'm going to let my one side go there, and my other side is going to come out something like that. Now, the reason it's in the second quadrant, this is the second quadrant, is because the first quadrant is for 0 to 90, and the second quadrant is 90 to 180. So since 145 is between 90 and 180, it's going to be in the second quadrant. Now, what do they mean by terminal side or terminal arm here? Well, angles have two arms. So this is called the initial arm or initial side, and this right here is called the terminal arm or side. So what we need to find out is what this intersection point is. This is point A. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to kind of zoom in right here and see what we're actually looking at. So this is going to be my x-axis. This is going to be my y-axis. This is going to be my circle, let's say, and then my angle is going to come up like this. So once again, we're looking to find the coordinates of this point. Now, the coordinates are divided into, two coordinates. We have an x coordinate and we have a y coordinate. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to think of this side, and this side and use it kind of as a triangle. So what angle do we have right here? Well, here we have a 90-degree angle. And what angle do we have right here? Well, let's look back. This is 145, right? And this entire thing is 180. So the difference between 145 and 180 gives us 35 degrees right here. Awesome. So now to find the coordinates, we need to find what this distance is and what this distance is. But do we know what the hypotenuse of the triangle is? Well, actually, we do. It's a unit circle, right? And in a unit circle, the radius is always 1. And what is this if not the radius of the circle? So we know that distance is 1. Now we're going to utilize something called the law of sines. The law of sines can be expressed as sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, where A, B, and C are angles, and capital A, capital B, and capital C are sides. So pretty much, if I call this angle A, this angle B, and this angle C, then side A is opposite of angle A. So this is going to be side A, this is going to be side B, and this is going to be side C. Now it's just a matter of plugging things in and calculating. So first we're going to plug in the angle and side pair that we know both values for. So we know that opposite of 90, we have a side length of 1. So I'm going to say sine of 90 over 1 equals, and now I'm just going to calculate what side B is. And what angle is opposite of side B? Well, that's sine 35. So sine 35 over B. Now to calculate this out, we can just cross multiply. To find out. So we'll do 90, find the sine of that. It's going to give us 1. So we have 1 times b is just b equals sine 35 times 1. And what is sine 35? 35, sine of that is, we'll say 0.57. So we just found side b is 0.57. Awesome. So we found the y-coordinate of our point, and now we're going to do the same thing to find the x-coordinate. Now we can do this 2 ways. We can either do the law of sines again, or we can just use Pythagorean theorem. Let's try it both ways. First, we're going to try the Pythagorean theorem. So we know that the sum of the square of the legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So I'm going to say 0.57 squared plus, what do we call it? We called it c. So plus c squared is equal to 1 squared. Well, 0.57 times 0.57 gives us 0.32. So 0.32 plus c squared is equal to 1. We get c squared is equal to 1 minus 0.32, which is 0.68. 0.68. And we get c is equal to the square root of 0.68, which is 0.82. Okay, so we have that, but let's just verify it using the law of sines again. So we know that sine of 90 over 1 is equal to sine of 35 over 0.57. And let's just confirm that that equals the sine of the last angle over the last side. So our last side is c, but what is this angle? Well, we know that in a triangle, all the angles add up to 180 degrees. And we already have a 90 and we have a 35. So to find out the missing angle, we just subtract. So we do 180 minus 35 minus 90 gives us 55 degrees. Okay, so it's going to be sine of 55. Now, let's cross multiply here. And what do we get? Well, sine of 35, sine, once again, is 0.57. So 0.57 over 0.57 is equal to, what's sine of 55? Sine of 55 is 0.819, 0.819 over c. Once again, we cross multiply, and we get c is equal to approximately 0.819, which is close to 0.82. So you see that this answer and this answer, they are the same. So what did we just find out? We just found out that this distance is 0.82 and this distance is 0.57. Now you have to think about it. Is this side going up or down as compared to the x-axis? Well, it's going up, so it's going to be positive. But what about this? Is it going to the left or right of the y-axis? Well, it's going to the left, which means it's negative. So what's our final answer? Well, we get the point A is equal to negative 0.82, comma 0.57. So let's see if that's an answer. We're looking for negative 0.82 and positive 0.57. And what do you know? That answer is C. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, let me know. And as always, happy studying.